Good evening, good evening, good evening. Goeienaand, Molweni. Namaste. Wassalamu alaikum. Goeienaand aan almal. That's right. It's Wednesday and it's 8 o'clock, just after 8. And I'm here. And no, I am not in Germany anymore. I am back in my absolutely, passionately loved South Africa. Ek is hier, ek is terug. Ek wil net vir almal sê goeienaand. And we are live tonight again on TikTok. TikTok, this is your favorite stylish politician. And if I'm not, I don't particularly care. I will still tremendously love you. So to our people on TikTok are aware. Good to see you. To the people on Facebook, Tiens, ek sien julle kom op, Reinhard and everybody. And for once, we've got the 3 cameras, I hope in a good enough position. Sorry if the angle isn't always me looking at you directly. But we are here. To all our friends on YouTube, goeienaand, welcome. And yeah, what can I say? Good to be back. Great to have been able to have probably 2 of the most unbelievable, crazy weeks of my life. First, attending the highly advertised, the highly publicized multi-party charter meetings where 7 parties in South Africa got together to form a united alliance to set up an alternative government for this country for next year. And tonight I will be speaking to you. We don't just educate you here. Ons vertel nie julle net die storie binne die storie nie. Maar ons verduidelik. We try to educate. You know, in Xhosa, we have a good saying that says umkhabulo. Now umkhabulo is education. It's a political educational word. When we used to sit around and want politics of the world, of the land, we used to do umkhabulo. So tonight I'm going to share some stuff with you, some opinions, and later on, without a doubt, I would like to take your questions and answer some of them, and maybe, if we have enough time in the next half an hour, get 1 or 2 of you live here to ask me anything. Baie goed om julle te sien. Dit was 'n absolute mal 2 weke met die party besluiting om die charter te vorm en daarna Duitsland toe. We went to Germany. I spent a couple of days there, not just to go see how governments, how coalitions, how people work to form coalitions, because as you know, Germany is a government of coalition. And this is absolutely the future. The future of this country is going to be coalition governments, and there can be no doubt about that. So catching my wind, got back a day ago, went directly from the airport home, rested, and the next day into council, Cape Town City Council, going to find out what went on while I was away. Apparently quite a lot. You leave council for 1 day and it just absolutely collapses. So a lot of work for me, a lot of catch up, but I said I want to speak to you tonight. Ek wil met julle praat. And we've got 3 very important subjects, very important matters to cover. And I want to start with the multi-party charter. It used to be called the Moonshot Pact. It's now the multi-party charter. I want to say from the beginning that South Africa, I want you to hear me. I want you to tape this. I want you to record this. And I want you to spread this, because I'm going to be very straightforward with you tonight. I want you to hear me tonight. I want you to take in what I'm going to tell you tonight. This discussion I'm having with you tonight, I'm calling the sand of time, the hourglass, where you tip it and the sand drains out to give you a specific time. And I'm going to tell you from the heart what I am saying right here today. Suid-Afrika, ons het nie meer tyd nie. We have no more time. And I want to tell you this straight from me. This country's sand is running out at an unbelievable and disastrous rate. Die sand in ons klein tydglas is besig om uit te loop. This is something I want to tell you from my heart's heart. I have now been in politics for 3 years. I have been involved in politics now for 3 years. Before that, I was an international businessman with most of my business in Europe and in Africa. There's a lot of people, and ek praat reguit, there's a lot of people that think I had a career in the bloody ANC, that I was a spy all my life, that I was an intelligence agent, that I was. This is utter rubbish. Utter rubbish. For more than 22 years of my life, I have been involved in major businesses of infrastructure funding, mining, security, and resources. That's what I've done. So I want to tell you this, ek wil dit vir julle sê, dat ons kan bykom. Hoekom dit belangrik is wat ek vir julle nou wil sê. You've got to hear what I'm saying. I am most probably today one of the very few politicians in this country that went from business to politics, not politics to business. Do you understand that? I ran an international fund, a fund that equipped Africa to do infrastructure of more than 9 billion rand. Yes. So I want to talk straight to you today. If you are going to ask this country to be saved by politicians, you are going down the wrong road, because politicians in this country have only one thing in bloody mind, and that is themselves. Themselves, their family, their gut, and their own life. Dis waar. Dis feite. Die politici in hierdie land, die meerderheid van hulle, kyk net na hulle self. They only look after themselves. And that was never my understanding of politics, of why I want to be in politics. I want to be in politics to change a country. Because let me quickly tell you, you are definitely, if you're an honest politician, you are not going to become wealthy. In actual fact, it costs you money. So let me start. South Africa, hear me well. We are seeing the daily collapse of this country in its totality. Do you not see it? Is ek mal? Is ek die enigste een wat dit sien? No, I'm not. So let's start with politics. South Africa, you have a choice to make in this country, and it's a clear choice. I've made my choice. I've made my choice, and my choice is clear. I want a country that works. That's it. I want a country that works. But I don't want a country that works for some and doesn't work for the other. Now, here's the story. You are ignorant if you think that the future of this country does not lie within you. You see, I'm trying to educate you. You can't change this country if you're not in politics. Do you understand that? Jy kan nie. I'm sorry, the country is built that the people that sit in parliament, the people that run political parties are the final decision makers of this country. Nou, you kan maar blow up en jy kan maar nou lê in kots en jy kan maar nou sit en skree en jou absolute moerplik sê. But that's the fact. This is the fact of life. So 60 million people in this country, 60 million, depend on 400 politicians that sit in national parliament to run the country. Do you get that? Sorry, I don't. Because when I realized it, I got shocked. And then you look at the people that sit in that parliament. Some of them are between 90 and after. Some of them have never run a business, the majority of them, because their business is politics. Do you understand that? Their business is not running the country, the business is politics. So met ander woorde, jammer, hier kom dit nou, hulle sit in daai plek en hulle praat kaak. Wow. They actually sit there and talk nonsense. And that's the frustrating bit of me when I sit in council or I sit in a portfolio committee. Dis tos. Dis gemors. You're not getting anything done because we're fighting so much for positions. The ek, the I. So let's get that out of our way. Unfortunately, until there's a change of system, you will have to exercise your right to vote. Now, South Africa, I went in to listen, to partake in a meeting of 7 parties: the DA, the Freedom Front, the IFP, the SNP, Isanco, the UIM, and Action SA. 7 parties. Do I like them? No. Do I get on with them? Sometimes. Do I agree with them? Not always. Am I in agreement with the policies of the DA? No. Am I in agreement with the things maybe sometimes that Action SA say? No. Do I agree with the policies of the Freedom Front? Some. That's why I started a party. Now, what does the United Independent Movement, what does it bring? What does it bring? I'll tell you what the UIM brings. We bring value. We bring values. In other words, I'm sorry, but I'm old school. What does that mean? Even the young people, self die jong mense, wat hierso is, weet wat is maniere. Not all young people don't have manners. Manners maketh man. Now, sorry, call me old-fashioned. Call me conservative. I like a country where people have manners. I like a country where we still recognize respect for women, where we can open the door to a lady. I like the fact that we can get food and say thank you. I like to say that when you ask for something, you can say please. Is that too much to ask? You see, it's because you don't have manners and because you don't have respect, and that we're living in this woke mentality of absolute human rights, which is absolutely not acceptable when those libertarians run around and want to change a country to suit them. No, it doesn't work that way. You must have absolutely values. That's why when you look at a society and you look at people when they live in their areas, in their communities, you can immediately see values. You can see respect. And it doesn't just come from one side. You know, where I grew up in the area of Umtata. Yes, Umtata. Ukaya Umtata. Ugamlakuza netemba ufaku utasha. Unauza indageni. Yeah, umlungu uthetha. You see, it doesn't just come out of a white home, or a black home, or a colored or an Indian home. It comes out of a home. You see, when you live in Umtata or you stay in Port St. John's or Lutsekitzig or Welkom or Bialar or Menenberg, it doesn't matter where you come from. You come from a home. And that's where we went wrong. We lost our values. We lost our God. And here's the nice thing. If you're Muslim, inshallah, you have values. If you're a Christian, you have values. If you come from a family that is Jewish and you read the Torah, come now. If you're Hindu, are they not values? You see, where you were brought up, you were taught manners. And those that weren't taught that, you can see it. Die waardes en die normes wat ons vandag breek in die strate, is hoekom hierdie land moertoe is. Shall I say it again? The total collapse of values, the total annihilation of our respect for each other, our courtesy to each other, our humanity to each other, is because we've lost our principal values. We have a value of burning stuff. We have a value of breaking stuff. We have a value of destroying stuff. We have a value of casting racism on each other. We have values where we teach each other that violence and murder is the way that you get your point across. Dis nie waar nie. This is not true, because then you go back to the law of the jungle. Jy gaan terug bos toe. Yes, you do. Jy raak weer oer. You start to go back and you start becoming a barbaric society where the law is no more the law. This is wrong. I don't care who you are. Mamela non slanje matlabela. Mamela, you are wrong. And you know you are wrong. Because you cannot preach violence, you cannot preach to your children that the effective way to get your point across, to get what you want, is to burn and to protest and tear everything apart. You have the right to protest, according to the Constitution, but you have bloody not the right to destroy. Dit is die beginsel waar ons op moet werk. And a person gets tired when you see such mannerism in your country. So let me tell you about what we're trying to do. We are very clear that we need to change this government. We mustn't change the values that we want. We must change the government. Because 30 years after democracy, which was a fact, we have turned into a society that lost its moral compass. Yes. We've lost our compass. Mense, ons het ons morele kompas as 'n land verloor. Daar's nie meer 'n kompas, 'n rigting nie. En die ware kompas in ons lewe is die Bybel. Your true compass, your true north, is the Torah. For me as a Christian, it's the Bible. For you as a Muslim, it is the Holy Quran. It is your preachings. It is everything that you need to know where you go in life. This is it. You see, if you're a Christian, you cannot be lost, South Africa. You have the Bible. As a Muslim, you cannot be lost, inshallah. You have the Quran. As a person of Jewish faith, you have the Torah. As a person of Hindu faith, you have your scriptures and you have your gods. You can't be lost if you're a South African. You can't be lost because you've got a constitution. Het julle gehoor? Ons kan nie verlore wees nie, ons het 'n konstitusie. Now, South Africa, we are losing the value of protecting our constitution. There's no more respect. We have no respect for our country. We have no respect for our flag. We have no respect for our anthem. We have no more respect for each other. And when I went to Germany, when I spent this week in Berlin, hell, man, things work. Things just work. Now, you can't compare Germany with South Africa. Can you? Yes, you can. Because let me quickly tell you that country, like South Africa, went through a bad past. That country, like South Africa, was divided. That country physically built a wall between West and East Germany. They built a wall. They kept each other apart. Families were separated. That country, Germany, in the Second World War, was 75% annihilated. The city I went to, Berlin, was reduced to rubble. They had 750,000 square meters of effective nothing. Dis hektaar en hektaar van 'n land wat gebom is. And here's the thing, South Africa. They built that country back again. They didn't complain. They didn't go run around and borrow money of the billions. They didn't indebt their fiscus. They didn't take their treasury and put them into a loan agreement that would kill their society and that would indebt the rest of their generations. No. They went ahead and they built the country back. Sonder om te kla en te knaag. And today when you go back and you go look at this city of Berlin that had nothing and is now one of the leading industrial industry countries in the world. You must come back and look at our country and go, but we can do this. We've done this before. Regtig, ons het dit al voorheen gedoen. Now when you see TikTok here, I just want to show you something. While I'm talking to you about unifying our country, while I'm talking to you about standing together as a nation, look at the hate speech that's coming out here. Wow. Wow. The people on YouTube and the people on Facebook, you must see what's happening here on TikTok. Shocking. You are shocking. Yo, you've got so much hate. I'm talking to you, TikTok. Wow. You have hate, man. That's shocking. Is dit wat julle is? Is dit wat dit is? Is dit wie julle is? Volhaat. Racisme. Is that all you got? Is this the intellectual level that you are? Your IQ? Your EQ and IQ? Is this South African? Whoa. Stop the lorry. Is this who you are? South Africa. Is this the level you have gone down to? Is this the ideology that you are preaching every day in your home? I don't know who you are. But look at what you are writing. Look what you are saying. You are a shocker. Jy is verskriklik. You're not worthy of being a South African. This is my country, people. You are my country, people. You? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You that speak like you are speaking. Stop the horse. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn. It's my platform. How can you be like this? Do you know there are people that are dying for you? I don't give a damn who you are. Do you know that I every day get up to fight for you? for your children. And this is what you are. Julle is lelik. This is not God. This is not God. This is not mercy. If this is who you are, I don't want to fight for you. I don't want to get up in parliament. I don't want to get up in council. I don't want to go out at night to serve you, the likes of you. This is who you are. You won't say a word without being racist. I won't have it. I won't have my children be you. Don't you understand that you are doomed? Do you not get it? The end is near. The end of this country's infrastructure, the end of this country's future is near. But you think it's a joke? You think this is fun? Seeing a country die? And this is okay? You give your life, you fight cancer. You survive cancer, it comes back again, but you bloody will get up every day to fight for you. But the only words that we can come to is racism, hate. This is our problem in this country. We cannot leave the past. How do we get up as a country and fight for the future when you bloody well can't leave the past? You can't. Hear me well, this is dark days. If I cannot help you to forget about the past, we are doomed. You see, I just came from a country where there's hate. Do you understand that? I come from a country where there were Nazis. I went to the Nazi museum. I saw pictures there that are horrific. And you are saying, from our point of view, that you are not willing to forgive the past? South Africa, come now, I'm sorry. What's wrong with us? Are we so hurt? Is ons so seer gemaak? We can't do that. Ons kan nie. I'm sorry. I have to say something. I'm not your leader, but I'm a leader. Ek is 'n leier, ek is 'n verkose leier. A leader that appoints himself is a leader that cannot lead. I have not chosen myself to lead. I was voted. Not by many. I don't care. I will not build a political party that divides us, again racially. I will not market a company that will focus on black, that will focus on white, that will focus on colored, or that will focus on Indian. I will build a party that will focus on South Africans. How can you be so separated? Nee, man. Have you never been to a rugby game? A Springbok national game where white, black, colored, and Indian are standing together? It's shocking. Verskokkend. Dit is skokkend om te sien hoe ons uit mekaar uitval. Dit is skokkend om te sien ons mekaar moor. Dit is skokkend om te sien dat ons nie kan saam staan nie. This is wrong. I don't want to serve a country that can't unify. You've got to give it a chance, South Africa. So I've joined the pact. I've joined this multi-party charter because we don't have time. There's no political party that can remove the ANC and will keep the EFF from making a government on their own. Dis die waarheid. I'm telling you right now. There's no party that exists. There's no party that can get 50 plus 1 to remove this government and give you a better life. There is no such party. So the only choice that I had is the leader at this moment in time. I won't be the leader of my political party for life. I'm not destined for that. I believe that God put me here because I need to do this for now. I need to lead now. My experience of being in combat, my experience in intelligence, my experience in world business, my experience in world economy, my experience in geopolitics has now come to me at the right time. Now, because God says it's not your time, it's His time. I'm built for this. Nomslange, nomslange. Apus kansonso, religious, I believe it's time. And it's not time for a white leader. It's not time for a black leader. It's not time for an Indian or a colored leader. It's time for a leader. That's where we're going. Come with me. Kom saam met my. We have a journey now to fight. Yes, there will be differences. But the argument now that a small party, if you vote for a small party, the vote is wasted. Not anymore. We're belonging to one charter. We belong to one charter. With the end goal next year as a group of multiple parties to remove this ANC. Will it happen? Yes. I'll tell you why it will happen. You're going to help us. You're going to help us remove this government at that ballot box. You are. Because I believe in my God. And I believe that no matter the diversity, no matter how much soul, how much hate, how much racism we have in this country, I believe that good must oversee evil. It must triumph. Goed moet wen teen kwaad. En ons het kwaad. We have got a lot of evil amongst us. And we will remove them. We might be a small entity now, but so was David facing Goliath. I believe in you. I'm sorry if I get a bit passionate, but I can't let us die. Not on my watch, not on the UIM watch, not on South Africa's watch. Come now, man. We are better than that. So we signed the charter agreement and we will fight together. We will differ. People are saying, are we now part of the DA? No, man. We will not change. We are going into the elections on our own, separate, individual. So you will still see me, Neil de Beer, Uzane Temba, Awe. You will see me, the ballot paper, running for president of this country. I will be there. No matter what, you will come with me. Secondly, I had the opportunity to talk to a few businessmen, industry leaders in Germany, about my country. And here's the word. I want you to hear me quickly. Ek wil hê julle moet gou vir my hoor. There's a word that people use continually when they talk overseas about South Africa. The word potential. Potential. Did you hear me? The word potential. You know where most potential is found? You find a lot of potential in a graveyard. Jy kry verskriklik potensiaal in 'n grafplaas. As jy 'n begrafplaas rondloop, dan lê daar hordes en hordes potensiaal. Ja. Haven't you noticed that when you talk and you speak about a man or a woman that died, the first thing you said is, "Ai, Jannie het soveel potensiaal gehad." Don't you say that? When someone passes away or they don't get something right and the life goes on, you know, one of the things you say at the funeral is, John had so much potential. South Africa, they are saying that we've got potential. I don't like that. What I would like is if we are living that potential. We're living it. So when people say South Africa had so much potential, South Africa has so much potential, it's a negative. Because potential means you have not yet done what you could do according to your capability. So if you've got talent of God to play the violin or the guitar or the piano, and you never become a star, you never become a person that's a musician, you will only be a person that had potential. We can't be a country of potential. We've got to reach that potential. Ons moet dit daar kom. Mense sal sê nee, Andy was 'n goeie boue my broer. Maar weet daai ou het soveel potential gehad om sy eie besigheid te master my broer. Hi. That means Andy never became successful. Nee man. That's not what I want. I want you to be a country that lives, works, its potential. So when I was overseas and the people spoke about South Africa, they used to say to me, but South Africa has so much potential, but you really got to get things right. So there they say it. I went overseas to celebrate a very good friend's huge birthday and to meet business people that would invest in South Africa. And I must have met 80 people. And of the 80 people, 70 said yes. So that means 90% of the people that I met in Germany, that I spoke to promote my country, that I spoke to advertise my land, that I spoke to advertise my people in this country, said to me, absolutely, we are with you. But, hier kom het, maar, change your government. Wow. Change your government. So there it is. You see, a country, so the question I got posed, and that's where the UIM needs to go. The question I was posed was, here's a question, Neil, what will you do in the United Independent Movement to ensure that we as foreign investors do not fall into a country that has a national and socialistic ideology, and when they take over, will enforce that in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Het jy daai vraag gehoor? Ek sal dit weer vra. Neil, wat sal die UIM doen om te verseker dat as ons investering bring in jou land van biljoene, dat die nasionale sosialistiese stelsel om alles oor te vat vir die staat, met ander woorde kommunisme en sosialisme, dat jy dit sal stop en dat dit nooit deel van julle konstitusie sal raak nie. That's a long question. So here's the trick. You see, it's not about just starting a political party. It's not just about running around and doing speeches on social media. It's not about giving t-shirts and caps and food parcels. It's not about running around and dividing us racially so that we can be a disunited country. It doesn't help that you just run around and do good tricks. It's not good that you just run around and do rah-rah. You've got to go overseas and you've got to impress the world to invest here. Now, you see, if they don't trust you with 100 rand, why must they trust you with $1 billion? Well, the people have trust in me because they've given me $1 billion before. Yeah. They've trusted me to build companies. They've trusted me to fly across the world for 6 years, 179 days a year overseas. I'm not dumb. I was born at night, but not bloody last night. You see, it's not just about race. No. It's not just about talking rubbish in politics. You've got to be an economist. You've got to be able to go overseas and sit with 80 billionaires. And when they ask you questions like, what do you think the possibility is that we will have FDI in this country and that it will actually meet LIBOR? Did you just understand what I said? If you don't get it, you can't go and lead a country. You've got to know it. And the reason why we're not getting it right is because this president that leads our country doesn't know where the back or the front door is. Ja, jy Cyril. Jy. Jou siele. Cyril, jou siele. You don't have the capability. Cyril, not only are you a coward for not getting up for the people that are being murdered in this country to fight the crime, to put your people in jail. You don't have the acumen. You see, here's the thing. Cyril Ramaphosa was never a businessman. Cyril Ramaphosa has never opened, run, financed, overdraft, worried about any bloody business in his life. I know this. Do you want to argue with me? Mr. Ramaphosa got given his shares in McDonald's. He got given his shares in his companies. So when you think that the country's president is such a great businessman, you are talking rubbish. So please, man, I know what the 25th of every month means. I know what it means to lose a business. I know what it means to retrench staff. I know what it means to fail. And only because you fail do you know victory. You cannot understand you are filled when you've not been hungry. You cannot understand that you're wealthy if you've never been poor. You don't know when you're healthy if you've not been sick. We've been through this. We need South Africans that are normal. Ja, François, miskien moet jy ophou preek en na my toe kom. François, sê gou vir my hierso, net terwyl jy besig is, sê gou vir my jou politieke gemeenskap involvement. Waar het jy polities deelgeneem? Waar het jy op hierdie oomblik in jou gemeenskap deelgeneem? Was jy in die parlement? François, as jy niks van daai gedoen het nie en jy kom nie elke dag en gaan council elke dag, werk jou gat af vir die mense en gaan uit in die aand nie, moenie hier kom praat nie, hoor jy? Nee, maar jy moet weggaan. Ek wil jou nie hê nie. Ja, jy was in die weermag, ek ook. In 3. So wat beteken dit, François? Jy was ook in die weermag. Ek was ook in die polisie. Okay. Ek stel nie belang in jou CV nie, François. A CV means absolutely nothing. Nothing, François. Mufasa. I don't care where you come from. I want to know where you're going, François. Ika, né? Waar toe gaan jy? François. Moet jy weggaan nie? Jy moet mooi kyk, François. Jy moet mooi kyk wat ons doen, hoe ons gat daar werk. Hoe ons in die strate staan vir stemme, hoe ons werk elke naweek, hoe ons uitgaan in die raad, hoe ons werk in die polisie om die polisieering te bring. François, dis is nie 'n game nie. Soek jy jou op kommentaar nie. We've got to move here, François. Né? Jy was nie weermag. Ek ook. Great. Okay. François, ek was deel van 'n rugby wêreldbeker onder 21 span wat in 2005 die wêreldbeker gewen het in Argentinië. Okay. Het jy 'n goue medalje? Ons almal het goue medaljes, François. Pak jy op jou nie? Hou jy nou nonsens praat nie. Wrong guy, wrong time. Laat jy loop. To the rest of you, this is the truth. This is the truth. You got to change this country. You got to change it. If you don't change it, you get nowhere. I saw an amazing piece of graffiti. Not that I agree with graffiti, but I saw graffiti on a wall in Germany. And it said in German, if you don't change anything, change won't happen. Now you'll say to me, but Neil, that's obvious. Well, it doesn't look like it. Dit lyk nie so nie. Dit is gewoonlik die simpelste ding in die wêreld, wat die moeilikste is, né? Die druk van 'n draad en die gare, dit lyk maklik, né? Maar met my oë moer ek en dan val dit 'n vrou om te kom en te simpel. En Duits sê dit, as jy niks doen om goed te verander nie, sal niks verander. South Africa, we're coming to the point in May, June, July or August next year. Het jy my gehoor? In 10 maande van nou gaan ons die grootste besluit moet neem in ons lewe in hierdie land. We're going to take the biggest decision. You've got to choose where you are. I chose the truth. I chose to put my past behind us, né, Francois? And I decided to move on. I decided to fight for a country's beginning again. Yeah, I've got a history. Absolutely. So have you. You just need to dig a bit bigger. Ek is moeg vir mense wat my bel en vir my sê, maar jy was by die ANC, wel jy was by die AWB. Mense, ons kan nie meer in die verlede bly nie. We can't live in the past. Jy weet, when I told the people overseas about farm murders in this country, toe ek die mense in daai land vertel van die brutaliteit van moorde op plase, was hulle geskok. Now you will tell me, but Neil, why do you go overseas to promote our country and to tell people to bring money to the country? And then you go tell them about something like farm murders. Want dit is tog 'n kontras, né? Ek probeer hulle inspireer, maar op dieselfde tyd vertel ek hulle hoe ons boere brutaal vermoor word. Yeah, it's my job. It's not just my job to tell the truth to the world what's happening in this country. It is my job, my passion, my love, and my duty, my honor, my privilege, my promise, my commitment that I gave you as South Africans, that I will speak the truth even if it hurts, that I will speak the truth no matter, because it will set us free. Ja, Francois, ons moet die waarheid praat. So I went there and I spoke to the people about how hugely the problem about the murders of our farmers are. And they were shocked. I told them the gory, torturous detail. And what amazed me, they didn't know. So I'm telling you that this government, this president, this state are living in denial and are hiding things away from the world. Well, there it is. It's now in Germany. I will be having a radio interview in the next 2 weeks with a German radio station about my experience and the truth, what I told in that country. You see, South Africa, not only must we fight in this country to save our country, but the world must start understanding where the truth is. That's why I went to Germany. And that's why I'm going to the United States of America. That's why I'm going to go to the Middle East in this year. I'm going to visit the UK. I'm going to see Dubai. I'm going to see Abu Dhabi. I'm going to see the United States and maybe have a quick coffee with Donald Trump. Because I don't care what you think. I think Donald Trump was a good president. And you know, not everything about Donald Trump is great. But one thing I know about him, he's like me. Ons praat nie kak nie. Ons was nie goed in 'n wasmasjien nie. Ons sê dit soos dit is. We don't put things through a tumble dryer and then put it to you. No, we bloody tell the truth. En as daar gemors is is daar gemors. You cannot deny the killing and the killing fields of the Cape Flats. Do you hear me? We are living in denial in this city. Cape Town, where I stay, is a killing field. Our sons and daughters are dying in this city. Our sons and daughters are dying in this country, and we are looking the other way. This is shocking. So people are asking me, what is my opinion of BRICS? Well, it's not BRICS anymore. It's BRICS Makargara. It was BRICS. It was Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now it's BRICS. Daar's nou soveel lande wat gejoin het. It's Iran. You are putting Iran into an economic viable block of economies. Iran. Ja, maar jy weet, ernstig. Ja. South Africa. Russia. The only two economies that are really huge in BRICS, as I remember, is China and India. Without China and India, there's no BRICS. There's IC. No, really talk straight here. You see, South Africa, you are worried about Russia. You are worried about Ukraine. You are worried about Palestine. You are worried about Israel. You are worried about Syria. You're worried. But you are not worried about Delft, Massacre. Say, you're not worried about Delft. You're not worried about Menenberg. You're not worried about Kaidi. You're not worried about Diepsloot. You're not worried about Kwatema. You're not worried. You see, you make no sense. Yeah, global politics and geopolitics, I understand it. I lived across the world for 8 years. But you are so worried about what my opinion is about Russia and Ukraine. Hulle is besig om mekaar te bliksem in Europa, maar jy weet nie hier by jou huis hier langs jou moor. Hulle moor jou. Now I'm sorry. I'm not going to go stand at the Sea Point Promenade with a Ukrainian flag. Is jy nou dom of wat? I'm not going to stand in front of Trafalgar and I'm going to wave a Russian flag. Simple. Zack. I want to stand with the flag of Menenberg. I want to stand with the flag of Bella. I want to stand with the flag about Diepsloot. I want to stand with the flag of South Africa. Maar nou wil jy vragtig hê, ek moet op 'n sypaadjie gaan staan, want ek moet geworried wees of Putin en Kortjie mekaar gaan bliksem Dinsdag. Hier kom hy. Das hy. Kry vir jou yskriem. Kry vir jou 'n donors yskriem. I've got nothing to do with the problem of two countries that are mooring each other while my country is burning. Ek het myself so gemoer. Maar as nou rooi. As nou nee, mense. No, please, man. I'm a South African leader. Yes, but what do you think about the Russian vodka? Vodka. I like for Putin. Putin's my kind of guy. Putin jou moer. But it doesn't mean I'm going to worry about what I'm going to do. Mense, ek is ge-worried oor die moorde op die plase wat hierdie week was. Don't you think South Africa should be looking after South Africa? Don't you think we should start marching for us? Don't you think we should be rioting for us? Don't you think we should put 1 million people in one day in every capital of this country to a march? Have you done it? Why don't we take Loftus and we take Ellis Park and we take Cape Town Stadium, we take Gqeberha Stadium, we take Free State Stadium, and we take Durban Stadium, and we fill in one day every South African that wants to have peace, that wants to change, and that wants to fight for our South Africa. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do our own United South Africa Day? And we get the world television to all be at the same stadiums and broadcast at the same time. That's a word. Want as Jelly tot gevreekie met sy rooi ballonne en sy gejippery oor sosialisme en 'n klomp kommunistiese kak, as hy een stadium kan volmaak, sekerlik in God kan ons 5 volmaak? No? No? Are you telling me that there is not 500,000 people in this country that can come together in one day in 5 stadiums and pray and kneel and sing and talk about the future of this country? You can't fill a stadium? Are you telling me? Are you challenging me? Are you telling me that the UIM with you cannot get 500,000 people, 100,000 in 5 stadiums in one day to show the world that we reject violence? That there shouldn't be the killing of the Boer? That there shouldn't be this darkness of our country? Are you telling me that we as South Africans can't do that? Are we saying that? I think we can. I think we can. I think we should do it. Yes. I think we should choose a day, 5 stadiums, one day for South Africa and God. That's what we should do. And in that day that we fill Joburg, Pretoria, Free State, Cape Town, and Durban stadiums, we fill it with the understanding that we are there to talk against farm murders, this government, and we will show them what peaceful protest can do with 500,000 people out of 60 million. I think that's what I'm going to start. Can you show me quickly with a thumbs up, wherever you are, here on YouTube? Can you show me? Can you show me on TikTok? Can you show me? If you were to get the opportunity to come to a stadium, would you come? Would you come for God? Would you come for your country? Yes, you will. Look at this. Look how TikTok is exploding. TikTok, do me a favor, share this, spread this. Facebook, share, like, and show the world that 500,000 people could come together in 5 stadiums. I need help because we've just made a huge challenge for this country and ourselves. I think we need to do this. And we need to do this before the elections. Who's in? Who's with me? Let me see what I can do to put this together. I will discuss it tomorrow night at the multi-party charter, at the leadership conference tomorrow night. I hope I have your support, South Africa. We need people. You know, you need people. There's someone here called Burra. Burra, ek wil hê jy moet my help. As Burra hierso is, help my. Toks van 'n Linde, jy's altyd hierso. Mense soos daai, mense wat leiers was, mense soos Kobus Wiese. I need you to tell me, will you help me to fill 5 stadiums in this country for prayer, for unification, in the biggest ever show of faith in this country. And we call it the United South African Day. Let us see what we can do. And in those days, we want the farmers there. Ons wil die boere daar. Ons wil almal daar. We want faith. We want churches. So I'm putting it out there today that within the next couple of months, we will have a unification day in 5 places across this country. In the Bible, it says, spreek dit en het sal kom. I've just spoken it. So that's my story, South Africa. It's unity. It's not diversity alone. There will come a time that we will realize that we have potential, but that the potential is us. Dit is ons. We are the potential. When Mamela put potential. sê jy my broer, dis jy, dis jy. Jy is die potensiaal. We want a country that gets investment. We want a country that has got jobs. And we want a country where there's justice. Justice and jobs. And it's time that the normal South African takes back this country. And I am you. Ek is jy. I am you. Because we can't allow this country to fall apart. Ons gaan dit nie toelaat. We are just not going to do it. In a massive scenario where we separate each other. That's what we need. So let's stick together. Let's work together. It's good to be back. It's good to, om my taal te praat. It's lekker om 'n bietjie weer terug by die huis te wees, 'n bietjie Afrikaans hier so neer te sit, and to take our country back. Thank you for giving me the time. Can I just tell you, on TikTok, listen to me, TikTok, wow, 44,000 likes right now. We've had 44,000 likes. To all the people down here on YouTube, thank you very much. And we've had nearly 640, I think 700 people on Facebook, 1,050 stars and likes on Facebook. You are just unbelievable. I want to thank my God. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for just giving me the opportunity every Wednesday to come and say my say. Jammer as ons 'n bietjie kwaad raak. I know your point of view is also right. I need to sometimes just share my frustration, what I deal with. So thank you for allowing me to do that. When you see me in the street like today, in the mall, in the street, I see so many people just going to say hello. Going to say that they love me and that we should not stop the fight. To you, thank you. To the lady in Woolworths, I know you were very hesitant to come and say hello, but you did, and thank you for meeting you and your family. To the people in the mall, to the people today in Cape Town, the people that screamed and waved. The nice thing is that you can be humble, dat jy nederig kan wees, and that you know that you're not just fighting alone in this battle. And then lastly, to all the nurses at ICU, F ward at Somerset West Mediclinic. I was in that ICU for 5 months, 97 days in ICU last year. And today I went there. I took them some cool drink and some donuts. I know it's wrong. And some cake. The reason I went there was to say thank you. To say thank you. And it was absolutely a huge moment to walk into ICU and to see the people that looked after me. There were a bit of tears, there were a bit of photos. So thank you for sharing that moment with me, because sometimes we forget the people that look after us. Sometimes we don't know that the people that work in hospitals, everyone, not just doctors and nurses, how hard they work, our police, our people that stand the line. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to those people. We really, really love you. And we really appreciate you in a big manner. So van my af, goeienaand. Ek gaan 'n bietjie tee en koffie drink. Sommer al twee. En ek is lief vir julle. I love you very much. Thank you for giving me your time. And we really appreciate you. Let's build the UIM. Get involved. Info, I-N-F-O, info at uimsa.org. Info at uimsa.org. Send your emails. If you want to speak to me, send me an email. My email address, yes, I reply to every single email. My email address is Neil, 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 at uimsa.org. So if you want to know more about our party, if you want to know more about membership, send it to those and we will get it done. So info@uimsa.org. Let us know. And I see a lot of people. I see Cherise, and I've picked up Yusuf. I've picked up all our people, and you're amazing. People, next week we are going to talk a bit about fundraising. Unfortunately, we need money. We need to start raising money to fight this election. So next week I'm going to talk to you about tours, about budgets, and our election strategy next week Wednesday. So moenie nou weghardloop nie, ons het julle nodig. Bietjie, maak baie. We've got to go on tour. We've got to go, myself and Fatima, and it's always good to see her. Well done, my vice president, on an unbelievable talk in council. Jy het hulle goed gemoer. And that's what we need. She's rubbing off. Thank you very much. May God bless you. And remember, South Africa first, but God always number one. Kyk na julleself, onthou Suid-Afrika eerste, maar ons God bly altyd nommer 1. Shukran, salam, hos, awe, dankie, namaste, goeie nag, mag die Here julle seën, and let's build this country together. Amen. Bye-bye. TikTok, look after yourself. See you soon. Bye-bye. For everybody on Facebook, love you. Thank you for being here. And may you have a blessed time and day. And we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye on our Facebook. And then to our people on YouTube, I've seen so many messages. Roland, Yvonne, everybody. Anthony Hoffmeyer, so good to see all with you. If you've got anything you need, let me know. Email me on neil@uimsa.org and I'll get back to you and we'll do what we need to do. But keep your faith, stay in God, and be South African. Thank you for following me and see you next week, Wednesday. Hartlike goeie nacht.